would like to welcome you all. Would like to see that as the beginning of a strategy, as a campaign, and a sort of a sequence of events rather than a sort of a splash. That's why we were trying to characterise the City Hall today, the Mayor, a SIPTU, a coordinated approach to show the strength and unity in the city, go out and do the protest, and then sort of work out from there in terms of lobbying the directors, the owner of the firm, the White Mountain sort of industry there. So the idea that is to sort of see it as a beginning, not to be heartened or disheartened about sort of the day's events. When these companies realise that there's a sort of an all-Ireland approach, that everybody that has a role in this, a stake in this, that everybody that's sort of outraged by this is getting involved in it, then hopefully that they will reflect on how they're abusing and messing sort of families and employees about across the board.
We're here today because we have a group of our members from the Cavan area who have been made redundant by what's a brick making company, but it's actually Lagan Corporation, which we all know well up here because it's a big employer up here. What we've discovered is that these workers have not had their entitlement to redundancy. The factory just closed, and after 100 days they're still struggling to get their rightful entitlement. Now, why it's important to us is because these workers have been treated unfairly, but it's also important in the north because this is a big employer up here. White Mountain Quarries is just one of the many businesses that they own, and this is not a principle that we want to see passed up here. If workers have rights, then those rights must be protected.
We're glad to be up here in City Hall today to get a bit of more support and just try to put more pressure on the Lagan Group to try and get negotiations going again and get more support.
Declan, how long have you worked for the company?
23 years.
And throughout that time, did you ever think they would treat you like this?
No, Lagan was a great employer for 20 something odd years. And in the last 3 years, it has changed hands to a younger Lagan man, Jude, and it's just ruthless. No respect for men at all. They just kicked you out the way they've done at Christmas, like a half an hour's notice. I had to phone a man that's working there for 43 years at 11 o'clock at night and tell him his job was gone. That's the way we had to tell each other about our jobs going.
What sort of havoc is this wreaking in the Kingscourt community?
It's crazy. Like, I have 4 kids at home, and down there I was on Christmas night at 12 o'clock. I had to leave my family, go down there, stand at the gate for 6 hours. We've done it Christmas, we've done it New Year's, we've done it St Patrick's. We're probably going to be doing it now Easter weekend. We'll do it. We're strong and we're all together on it, and just want to get what's right and just, like, fair.
My name is Anne Smith, and I'm married to Pascal Smith, one of the Kingscourt brick workers who's been paid off since the 15th of December, and the manner they were paid off wasn't very nice, and it's upset all our families here. I'm Co.Cavan, married to Michael, working in Laganbrick. It's a disgrace, men that have been working there for 24 years to 43 years, to be treated in such a manner. And hopefully what happens today will be a start of things to come for the future. Hopefully it'll not be too long.
I am Elizabeth Fleming. I'm married to Jerry White. We're all very upset. We started before Christmas, which was tough because we're all disorganised and we never expected it to go on this long. And we're only fighting for our rights. They worked very hard for many years for Mr. Lagan, and very hard place to work in as well. And they're entitled to the redundancy, which they're not getting.
And what sort of reception have you had so far in Belfast?
Great reception, absolutely brilliant. Today has been brilliant, and hopefully with everyone's help, it'll help solve the problem. Hopefully.
Well, many of us are members of SIPTU, which is the union involved in the dispute, and we've heard about the fact that there were a group of workers had been on strike, had been picketing this particular firm in County Cavan from before Christmas. They've been without pay on the picket line from before Christmas. That's almost over 3 months. So we heard about it, and we're an all-Ireland party. As far as we're concerned, what goes on in Cavan or what goes on in County Antrim, any party in is something we're concerned about. So we made contact with them, went down and visited them, and we invited them up today. So that's why they're here. We're here to show them a little bit of solidarity and a bit of support for them and their families and the difficult circumstances they find themselves in. And also the parent company, the company that owned the factory that has shut them out and refused to pay them redundancy, has their their HQ here in Belfast. So this is about letting them know that, that as far as we're concerned, they have to do the right thing by these people.
Well, there's an injustice done on the employees here, and I mean, where we see injustices done no matter what part of the island they're being done, we'll support workers, especially. We have seen it in West Belfast in the past where the Fistian workers were. We had support of all across the island, people coming up and showing solidarity with the Fistian workers from West Belfast. So it's about replicating that, and it's about showing our solidarity with all the employees, and about challenging the employers that they must recognise these workers and start a real negotiation with them, and that's what we'll do. There's other connections between West Belfast and County Cavan and Monaghan. Kieran Doherty, for example, was the TD of that county, and I think who Kieran came from West Belfast, proud individual from West Belfast, we're all proud of him, but was a TD of this constituency where these employees come from, and I think that's a good show of strength.
Right, bring this goal, right?
Go on. Power stop. Yeah. Power stop. Peaceful protest. This is a peaceful protest.
Well, can we like them on the ladder to someone?
Yeah, get one last go.
Well, can I ask, are they going to be here after dinner? Is it just dinner time, or?
I'm not too
Well,
sure.
can we speak to one? I know you're here to make sure that there's a peaceful demonstration,
Yeah.
but
Well,
let them communicate with us if you don't mind.
as their office building, they've asked me to keep everyone outside.
Okay.
Okay.
Whoever wants to deliver the letter is happy to do so.
Okay. Can I hold on until we actually get some of the senior management here, because I prefer to hand it directly to.
Well, they've advised me.
Well, we've been told by an officer that the management aren't on site, and we've decided to hold a small delegation to hand over a letter to them, and we're presently waiting for the management to appear on site.
This is fairly typical of the tactics that management have been employing.
Well, they have all the way through this since the 15th of December. They've failed to engage with us, so it's no great surprise that it's a similar approach today. But look, you have to be optimistic, and hopefully they will. That it's not a cover-up and not a willingness to meet with us. We're hoping that they're going to actually meet with us and see what we can do to try and move this dispute on.
We'll never be defeated! The workers united will never be defeated! The workers united will never be defeated! They're all looking out the window, boys. Keep it going! The workers will never be defeated! The workers united 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 will never be defeated! What do we want? Fairness! Where do we want it? Fairness! What do we want? Fairness! When do we want it? Now!
Can you tell us what happened?
Well, as usual, senior management inside, they seem to hide and run at every opportunity they can. We had Kevin Lagan's PA received a letter from John here. Again, a disappointment, but nothing out of the way for this company. They know to be at what they're at. So we're treated the way we thought we were going to be treated, you know.
What's your message to the Lagan management team?
Well, the message is this is the start of it outside the Kingscourt work. So this is the start of it. That's all I can say. This is not the last place we're going to visit until we're sorted out. You know, it's in Kevin Lagan's hand. It's in the Lagan Group's hand. We have exhausted every avenue through the LRC. The company's refusal to go to the Labour Court, the only tool that we have. But thankfully, we have that tool across the road as well, and we have you guys. So.
We've come to Belfast today with the invite of the Sinn Fein party, which met with us a week ago in Kingscourt, and we have met with the Mayor today, and the whole morning's work this morning demonstrates the solidarity that there is among all the entities and the support for these workers.
And what do you think you've achieved by today's visit?
Well, we've achieved, first of all, we've sent a letter into the company which is mapping out an opportunity for them to get into dialogue with us, and they should really know what that's all about. Living in Belfast, dialogue fixes problems, and that's where we want to be, around the table and bringing this dispute to a satisfactory conclusion at the earliest possible time. It is going on now over 100 days, and that's far too long for any dispute. These workers deserve a lot more than €3,000, which equates to €135 per week for every year's service. Absolute disgrace.
What do we want?
Cllr Jim McVeigh, has today been a success?
I think it has. It's a start of a campaign to obviously apply pressure on the company to do what's right by the workers and their families. The intention of the day was to serve notice on them that they can't simply get away with treating workers like this in County Cavan and think there's no consequences for them here in Belfast or in the north. So this is the start of a campaign, and we hope they recognise what's coming and enter into some serious discussion about a negotiated settlement, something that's fair to the workers and their families. So yeah, it's a start. I think it'll be a good start.